Saram sir, and a hearty welcome to you to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. If you look at the activities of the Sathya Sai Seva organization, medical seva has been one of the principal activities of the Sathya Sai organization as well as Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust for decades. And Swami laid the foundation for the General Hospital way back in 1954. And you have been, in the last 10 years, collating all the activities done across India by the Sathya Sai Seva organization, and you've been doing it by publishing them in this journal, Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali. As this journal completes 10 years, what would you like to share with all the devotees who probably are not aware of this journal?
Om Shri Sai Ram. First of all, I would like to thank Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba for giving me this opportunity of sharing with you all regarding this divine publication of Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba himself, which I think showcases the selfless activities, the compassionate service which is being rendered by doctors, the healthcare professionals, and the other Sevadal volunteers also from the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization as well as Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust hospitals. Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali. This is the journal which is published biannually, and it's the 10th year in running now. Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali, the first issue, got published in 2017 when the International Health Conference was held at Prasanthi Nilayam. And this name, Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali, itself was suggested by a managing trustee and Dr. Mohan himself when Bhagawan guided us in naming this Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali. Arogya means free from health, Prema means love, and Anjali is an offering. So this is an offering of the true love service which is rendered by thousands of volunteers across the nation and across the world. So this journal includes some research articles, the service activities by the various doctors across the country, other innovative things happening across the country, the inspirational national initiatives which are put forth every year in the health sector. We all combine these activities in various formats in this journal so that it can be shared across the world with all the healthcare professionals. The journal is different from other journals. I'm a doctor myself. I'm a laparoscopic surgeon. And I have access to many such journals, the surgical journals, the medical journals. But those journals, dear brothers and sisters, they go about writing about disease. They go about writing a patient's status. They go about writing how to make that patient disease free. But brothers and sisters, as the definition of health goes by the WHO, it's a presence of physical, mental, and a social well-being. But I would say that the definition of health as given by Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba also includes something different, that is a spiritual well-being. And that spiritual well-being also has to encompass that Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prem and Ahimsa से जुड़ाव बहुत ही आवश्यक है हमारे इस स्वास्थ्य के लिए. यही सब इस जर्नल में जो है हम संजो कर लाते हैं और कोशिश ये होती है कि ये जर्नल जो है सब तक पहुँचे, पूरे देश में पहुँचे, सभी डॉक्टर्स के पास पहुँचे, सभी हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स के पास पहुँचे और हम सब हेल्थ के वॉलंटियर्स या सेवा दल के पास भी पहुँचे, ताकि भगवान इतना आशीर्वाद हमें दे सकें, ताकि हम इतना इंस्पायर हो सकें. We get so much inspired by the stories inside that we also follow the footsteps as given, laid down by Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba.
I think through this work, you are getting a direct view of the moving seva happening across the country. So tell us some of these heart-touching stories, heart-touching service activities that the organization has done, which remains with you evergreen. I think these stories happen every single day, but maybe you can share with us a few stories.
Right, sir. In the last 10 years of this publication, I've been editing so many stories, and so many stories are shared with us. And a couple of stories I would like to share. In those times when we had medical camps In Kashmir, Pahalgam, that Dal Lake, across the Dal Lake, around 20 kilometers inside the Dal Lake, there's a village. And across that Dal Lake, we had seen an OPD of around 1,800 patients that day. So imagine 1,800 people coming for medical checkups and some kind of a service they wanted, and they had no access to the medical care, so deprived of health care. And our specialist doctors, they were serving there. And people with wounded feet, wounded hands, maggots all around, gangrene. So many pregnant females, they were coming for just a routine checkup because they had no access. Because of the troubled times, they couldn't go to the hospital also. And those people were served there for 2 days. And we had always been afraid of something might happen there, some activity might happen, a terrorist activity might happen. But still, Swami was with us. And those patients had all the access, all the treatment, all the medicines, all some minor surgeries also, they've also done there. Another example, just a few days back, the Ratham of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, which is going across the country, Prem Pravahini. Recently in Odisha, when it was passing across a small hospital where inside a delivery was being conducted. Delivery means a patient was pregnant and she was having a difficult time during her delivery. For at least 18 hours, the child was not coming out. And when the Prem Pravahini reached the footsteps of the hospital, the door of the hospital, suddenly something happened, miraculous happened, and the child was born normally. No surgery was needed, no forceps were needed, and nothing happened to the child. And the father of the child, it was just half an hour old, the child, and he just carried that child out and crying, tears in his eyes, he brought that child, placed it on Swami's feet, that silver padukas, which were placed on the Prem Pravahini. And it was a heart-rending scene, and people were just thankful to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba what has happened. And a similar incident was shared with us in Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali. A volunteer doctor, he was traveling across from Perth to Sydney. It was a New Year's Day, and he was traveling at night in the plane in Australia. Suddenly, there was a call from the cockpit. Is a doctor available in the plane? So the doctor jumped. He jumped behind the pilot's place. A man, he was nearly dead. Pulseless, BP-less. He had no medical care available there. But that doctor, whatever medical help, the equipment which was available in the plane, he used that, took Swami's name, and did everything possible to resuscitate that patient. And within 15 minutes, that patient was up. He said Sairam. And when he was resuscitated, that doctor went to his seat, slept for some time. That plane, which was being brought down to Brisbane, then was taken up again, then landed in Sydney. And when the plane landed in Sydney, that Sai doctor was felicitated out by the air hostesses and the team from the airlines. And they said, "Thank you, Indian doctor." That was Sairam from his side when he said, "Thank you all and thank you, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba." Such kind of similar stories, touching stories from the tribal areas also. Like in this issue, there's a photograph on the last page. We see this old lady had no access to medical care. She's a diabetic, she's a COPD patient, she's a smoker, but she had no access to medicine. She was never on a medicine. Her BP was 220 by 120 when the doctor checked her. And when she was checked and given treatment, and after a few hours, she was like feeling so well that she thanked Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And there was tears in the eyes of hers also and the doctor also.
Once you document these beautiful stories along with pictures and other data, and once it reaches many other medical professionals and side doctors, what kind of impact has it had? How has that helped them to connect to these service activities?
I think the message becomes very clear that hands that serve are better than lips that pray. Swami has always said. and those service activities which all doctors read in this journal, and the way it is presented, the manner in which that service activity is done, with compassion, with integrity, with authenticity, with love, with compassion, with empathy. Empathy is a very beautiful word which medical professionals learn after reading this journal. You got to know where the shoe pinches in that patient's foot. So you have to wear that footwear to feel where that nail is pinching that patient. How is the patient feeling with that illness? That is what you got to know before treating a patient. That is what I think all of us learn when we grow up becoming medical students. When we go into a medical college, we go in becoming a doctor. We are taught how to treat a patient, how to give medicine, how to treat a sample, how to treat a guinea pig, I'll say a patient is just treated like a body. A patient is just treated like he's been built up with those elements which God has given. But nobody thinks that patient needs compassion. He needs kindness. He has some inner divinity inherent, which Bhagawan always says that we have an inherent divinity inside. So every patient also, I'll say, is made up of that inner divinity. So he's to be respected. We have to be kind with that patient. We have to be empathetic with that patient. I think that is what a doctor or a healthcare professional learns. I won't say learn, they've already learned it, but it comes out from within after reading such journals.
As Swami used to always say that, you have to look at the human body not in isolation, every organ not in isolation. You can look at the whole body as one thing, and it's not as a physical thing, but as a mental and a spiritual whole. And I think if you look at any of the Sai doctors, when they work in our hospitals here, that's when they realize that, a doctor, a surgeon may cut, but it is someone else who heals. I think whenever you talk to the doctors in Swami's hospital, they say that there is something here which is beyond them.
Yeah.
The recovery is much faster. The way the patients respond is much faster. And you do cover the activities that are happening in the institution of the Central Trust also, isn't it?
I remember, sir, in the early 90s, when I got a chance to visit the Swami's hospital in Prasanthi Nilayam, when I came to the mandir, Swami just called me and asked someone. There was a boy from our state who was working in the Swami's hospital. Swami told him, "Go, show this doctor how my hospital is."
Mm-hmm.
So I got that opportunity after being guided by Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba to go and see the Prasanthi hospital. Believe me, when I went there, I could see whatever you have said now. The patients get a different kind of treatment in Swami's hospitals. They get a very fast recovery, minimal complications, with love and compassion with which the sisters work there, the paramedics work there, the doctors work there, is exemplary. I learned so much on that day. I just remember that very day, that beautiful divine day when Swami instructed me to go and see the hospital and see what the working is like. I spent around 2 to 3 hours there, and Swami was giving an interview to a group of foreign doctors here in the mandir. And after some time, he called my state visit and said, "Call your doctor. He'll also sit in the interview." He had deliberately sent me to see what is happening in his hospital, in our hospital, that is Prasanthi Hospital. And it is a different world altogether. Prasanthi Hospital, or we say Whitefield Hospital, Swami's, any kind of medical care which Swami is giving, it's totally different from that across the world. And from that day alone, I had decided that I'll become a surgeon. At that time, I was just an MBBS and had gone in for my post graduation. Then I came here and asked for Swami's permission to do some kind of service in this hospital. But that's a long story. But Swami had blessed so much all the doctors, all the paramedics, and all the nurses out there in this hospital. They must be, I think, the happiest lot around in this world.
And Swami has guided your life completely.
Yes, sir.
In terms of you choosing this profession, you becoming a doctor, a surgeon, and now given you so many higher responsibilities in the organization. You have grown in the organization and now leading these medical initiatives. How has this experience been as a doctor, as a side doctor, and as leading these medical initiatives of the organization?
Yes, sir. It's a big, big opportunity. And the recent initiative, which was announced during the centenary celebrations before the Honorable President of India by the Managing Trustee, the Tribal Health Initiative for the women in the tribal areas. It's called the Tribal Women's Health Initiative, the Sashakti Program. And this Sashakti program is a total responsibility for the trust and the organization together. We have taken up around 500 villages across the country. And in these 500 tribal villages, we'll be focusing on the health of the tribal women. Be that lady be of from age 1 to the age of 100, all health related issues will be catered to during this initiative. We have surveyed across the country. We have already selected 500 villages. We are into the second phase now. And during this phase, we are setting up some clusters, some centers, healthcare centers there. Doctors have been identified. And we are going across to have some mobile vans, the fixed structures, the Shri Satsai health centers out across the country. And we're focusing on the preventive, the palliative, and the other spiritual aspects of these women. And these women will not just be given medical treatment, they'll be given a holistic treatment. And these women will definitely get some benefit. I won't say some benefit, it will be a total benefit from Bhagawan Shri Satsai Baba's hands, his blessings, his vibhuti, his medicines, his doctors, his paramedics. All of us are gearing up in these meetings on Guru Purnima also for this initiative, because this year we are, I think, focusing on this hard initiative, a big initiative that is going across the country. Similar kind of initiatives, similar kind of happenings across the country, so many medical camps happening, so many handicapped people being helped. Then there's a eye care van which is running across the country in which we are giving so much of ophthalmic care to the patients. Nowadays, running in Ladakh, Leh and Ladakh. Recently, it crossed Punjab. In Punjab, we catered to around 11,000 patients. There, we gave around 6,000 spectacles. Then, 600 patients were selected for surgery. Such kind of initiatives with these medical vans running across, plus the dedication of doctors, the dedication of people working for it, and people working for the people, I'll say. Then, some other hospitals like the the heart hospitals in Ahmedabad also, they are serving free for the heart ailments of the patients. So many activities are happening, sir. And we have got the opportunity of publishing each and every activity so that as to inspire all doctors, inspire our brethren, our healthcare professionals across the country and across the world also now through Shri Satsai Media Center. I think this information will go across the world, and our brothers from across the world will come out and get inspired, and we'll get help from them also for working for people in the country.
You have side doctors who are doing their own bit in their own areas, but
Yes.
once you know about what is happening, I think you learn from each other, you get inspired from each other, you get ideas also from each other.
Yes, sir.
And I think other day, I mean, we had last year even the hospital in Ladakh, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That initiative was fully supported by the Central Trust. Shri Satsai Central Trust fully supported it. And there's a Mahabodhi hospital. We were also involved in it. And it was fully equipped with quite a bit of financial assistance. Everything, every equipment, right from a small forceps to the ultrasound machines, to the endoscopy equipment, to the laparoscopy equipment, the operation theater, which was revamped there, then the beds, the indoors, the outdoors, the every bit of that hospital. Only the building was available, but there's a Mahabodhi structure there, and the whole thing that was inaugurated by the Central Trust and our revered managing trustee and our respected All India president. The whole team was there to inaugurate it and support it and give it to for the people of Ladakh. And now it's working, and it's working with full vigor. Ladakh, we all understand that during the winter months it closes. But now, during the winter months also, an OPD runs there. And during the summer months, surgeries are happening there. and our volunteer doctors from Chennai, from Tamil Nadu, from Andhra Pradesh, they also regularly go there and give free services there. And doctors have been appointed from our help, from the organization help, and they're also working there. And the Dark Hospital, I think, similar kind of activities across the country, wherever it is required, that will be an initiative that will be taken up by our organization and the Central Trust.
And I think when you look at the centenary celebrations, you had so many initiatives. You had the Rath going, you had the Unity Cup, which was cricket. Now we had the run and ride. We had the Ekadashi Rudram. But I think when it comes to the medical initiative, this tribal women's health initiative, I think that stands out as something, as an offering on Swami's 100th birthday, something which is very much needed. And these are all most likely perhaps forgotten people who are inside very remote places which are not even there in the maps, isn't it? And I
Definitely.
think this will make a very, very significant difference in their lives, isn't it?
Yes, sir. The male people, the men folk, they can travel hundreds of kilometers to get some medical help. But the women, in the tribal areas, they are forgotten mass. They are forgotten. They're left to themselves. If they have any illness, I think that shortens their lives. They shorten their spirits. They shorten their living. Everything, they just, I think they just live. They just exist, not live. They're existing there in the tribal areas. They're working day and night, but they don't have access to medical help. Yes, government is giving so much. Government is providing so much of many benefits, but that is all. Just as I said, it's not accompanied with love, compassion, or empathy. It's just providing medicines. It's just providing equipment. Some doctors, some paramedics who are worried not just for they just don't call medicine a noble profession. They'll call it a profession. So they are working for a living. Many doctors are such, but everybody is not such. They work taking it as a noble profession. Noble means full of values. We have to indulge ourselves in love and compassion. That is what Swami teaches.
I think it must be also a very, very fulfilling experience for a lot of doctors who have the opportunity to render seva in this manner. Because just like we see here, when you have the mobile hospital, you have nearly 400-500 doctors who are on a roster and very happy to come every month. Once they come, I think it becomes like a positive addiction. You can
Yes,
say,
sir.
they don't want to miss any month.
Yeah.
I think that joy is something else.
Yes, sir.
That
Different
you
kind
don't
of
get.
different kind of a feeling, a satisfaction, a big satisfaction you get, while serving others, serving medically. You give your life to a patient, life to someone. What kind of fulfillment you can just best understand. Same as Swami, Swami giving life to so many. Swami, we've seen Swami giving life to lifeless.
Yes.
Breathing stopped, pulse stopped. Swami's hand, patient revives.
Yes.
Similar kind, a doctor can also do, when it's timely done, is empathetically done, it's with compassion done. When you do it with Swami's name and thinking deep with Swami, there's no question if a patient cannot be revived. I have a conviction.
I think you become a channel of Bhagwan's love. You become a channel of His grace. And I
True.
think in your all these years of service, also you would have noticed so many such medical miracles of love, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Where medically you don't know how this worked out, but it worked out just because of the way we went about it and the way Swami intervened, isn't it?
And that shows the way how he works. No?
Yes.
Many times you have no answers to many questions. No answers to how it happened, how somebody regained consciousness, how somebody regained life after something which had caused death. You never know. A heart is stopped. You do an open cardiac massage. You have the heart in your hand. Still, you cannot revive a patient. But yes, you can revive a patient with his blessings, his power, his touch. We have seen patients being like getting up with Swami saying, "Get up." So many stories, Balvika stories, and so many stories of Swami's childhood. Swami is having revived so many people, giving life to so many people. I think a doctor also, he also has that inner divinity and Sai within him. I think a doctor, when he revives a patient, a full satisfaction encompasses him. And I think that is the best day. That is the best moment for him. Whenever like it's a winning a World Cup, it's just that joy which he has.
Bhagawan
True.
once said that, when a doctor treats the patient, if you begin by just speaking to the patient lovingly, then itself the
Itself.
cure has started. Half of the
Yes.
cure is done only when once you connect with the patient at that empathetic level, as you said. And I think that is what happens when you take to the Sai system of
Yes.
healthcare, isn't it?
Rightly said. So well begun is half done. So well begun, the beginning starts from love.
Yes.
The beginning starts how you interact with that patient, how you reciprocate to his illness or his questions. So with love, if you like at least give a patient hearing to the patient, patient is called the patient. So you also have to be a patient.
Patient. You have to be
You have to
patient.
have patience.
Patience, yes.
So sit with that patient, listen to him, even though he might be speaking like without sense. Many times we also feel what is he speaking, what is he coming out with. This makes no sense, but still you have to listen to him. You have to speak to him. When you speak to him, listen to him. I think half the cure is already done. And then you give a medicine or don't give a medicine, then also he'll feel satisfied.
Wow, I think definitely there is plenty for all the doctors, whether they are in the Sathya Sai ecosystem or outside of that, for them to learn from what is happening and what is documented in Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Premanjali. And a beautiful initiative. It's a window to all the moving studies that is happening. So, how do people access this journal?
Sri Satyasai Arogya Pramanjali. Otherwise, what we do is we have around more than 1,000, 2,000 copies printed, and they go to maximum Sai doctors and across all the institutions in the country, the government institutions, the major institutions. But otherwise, we have a web space for it. Then you can have it access through the web and through the organization website. And soon we're coming out with something different. Like if you call for it, we've given the addresses also, the mail addresses also. You can put in a mail, a WhatsApp address also, and you can access it. I think if you just type Shri Satsai Arogya Brahmanjali, you can access it anywhere. So
So now people can find it in the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization website,
website,
right?
yes, sir.
Now it's there, and with time it will be there in their
Yes, sir.
inbox.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you so much. And I think when you talk about the medical initiatives, given its long history in the Sathya Sai organization, there is plenty that has happened, and there is plenty that is happening, and there is plenty that is going to
That's
happen.
going to happen. Yeah.
Going to happen unquestionably. But it's for everyone to participate.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes you don't have to be a doctor also. You can
Yes.
participate in so many
True.
in various capacities as a volunteer also, isn't it?
True. You can be a doctor yourself, no?
You can be a doctor, yes.
Nowadays, everybody is a doctor.
Yes.
But yes,
Yes.
I'll say we are all Sai doctors.
Yes.
In the sense, if we have those values of Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa, I think all those values combined together with your compassion, I think everybody is a doctor in himself. We can talk to anybody very compassionately, politely, humbly, with humility. I think an authentic service to anyone can prove to be a healthy service for him.
And the patient will be healed, and in the process, we will also be
We'll also
healed.
be, yes.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you so much. I think we hope more people will now know about these service activities through this journal. The other thing that we would want to know from you is this beautiful event that is going to happen in Himachal in September, in the last week of September, if I'm not wrong, where you have all the tribal deities, tribal groups who are very devoted to their own faiths, to their own deities. They're all going to come. That's what we have heard, and it's going to be a very big celebration of devotion, and it's happening in Himachal. So if you can tell us more about that event.
This is a very big happening which is going to take place in a place called Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. Mandi is a district town of Himachal Pradesh. well known for celebration of Shivratri. The Shivratri celebration in Mandi is world famous. It's a international festival, and the government also celebrates. The central government also celebrates, and many thousands of people, I'll say lakhs of people, they descend on that land to celebrate Shivratri. On that Shivratri day, the surrounding deities, we call them deities in the sense that every village has its own deity. Every village has its own devata, we call in Hindi. And that deity, that possesses some, I think, the divinity inherent, that it answers to all the questions of the villagers. Whatever problems they have, any kind of natural happening which is going to happen, like the rainfall, sunshine, the irrigation, the harvesting, the crops, their health, their hospitals, their roads, any landslides, many things they predict. And they call people, people go to them for their answers, for their families, for their children. You can well understand that every deity in a village, it's taken to be, I think, ruling that area. So those deities, all these are Shakti Pithas. And these Devi Devtas out there in villages, I won't say small or big, but they are big in their own way. And every Devi Devta, they worship Bhagawan Shiva, Lord Shiva. So what happens on Shivratri day is every Devi Devta, around 250 of them, come down to Mandi and celebrate Shivratri every year. And that's an international festival. You can well imagine those Devi Devtas come, you must have seen on the web, on the television, they come on a palkis. So palki is fully decorated in beautiful colors, beautiful flowers, silver, gold, any metal, ashtadhatu, and they come dancing with all the people around. They come with musical instruments, they come with nadas, they go with sarangis, they come with big drums. They come descending on the town of Mandi to celebrate Shivratri. So what we were blessed by Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba was, during this centenary celebration, we just asked one of their representative whether we can have such kind of a festival for our Swami also. They never come for such an event. They can never come for someone else's birthday or something. So there's a Dev Samaj. Dev Samaj is an organization which is like they enroll every Devi Devta out there. So 250, more than 250 Devi Devtas are enrolled already in that Dev Samaj. So that leader in the Dev Samaj, we sent a communication to him. We went and met him. First, they said no to it. But after a few days, some Devi Devtas, it is said, they give in writing also, and then through their person, through the person whom they talk through, they came out that when our Dev is coming, Devadi Dev is coming, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba is coming, why won't we come? So this is a day on the 26th and 27th of September when we are having a Dev Samagam in Mandi. So Dev Samagam means more than 100 of Devi Devtas, they are descending again to celebrate Shivratri. I would say it's at the centenary, the birthday of our Lord Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba in Mandi. And we are having a grand celebration there, a full festival of Diwali there, a full festival of Shivratri there on 26th and 27th, when all these Devi Devtas will be coming. They'll be singing, they'll be dancing. We'll all be having festivals and worshipping all these Devi Devtas. Along with them, we'll be worshipping Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. That is the festival. That is the main festivity out there. And you're all invited. The whole world is invited. We are very enthusiastic about it. We are just looking forward to it. For its success, we are praying to Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba is himself coming there in Prem Pravahini. Prem Pravahini is a Ratham which is going across the country and it is reaching Mandi on the 26th. So, during this event, during this Agaman of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba there, when he's coming there in the form of Prem Pravahini, all the Devi Devtas will be there in their Vahinis and they'll be all celebrating Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba's birthday along with all of us.
Wow. It sounds like it is going to be Shivratri, Dasara, Holi, and Diwali all at the same
All
time.
together. Yes, sir.
Beautiful, sir. And of course, Bhagwan's birthday celebration. Like
True.
it's going to be the birthday celebration of Bhagwan where all the festivals
Yes, sir.
are being celebrated simultaneously on that day
True.
as a glorious tribute
Yes, sir.
to the 100th birthday of our beloved Bhagawan. Thank you so much, sir. I think not many people again are aware of this, but now that you have revealed it, now everybody will be looking forward to it, and let's pray that everyone feels his presence like never before when that event happens there. Thank you so much.
Saram.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.